Ross.
Hi everyone, it's Graham. I'm the founder of TellPeople. I help lawyers talk about their ideas in language that everyone can understand. Thanks so much to the folks at Ross Intelligence for inviting me to contribute this guest video blog. So today is part 2 in a 3-part series designed to help you introduce a new idea to your organization. Part 1 was about how to think about the audience for your idea. Part 2 today is going to be about how to get that audience to listen, and part 3 will be about how to get that audience to understand. So, how do you get someone to listen to your new idea? Well, it's pretty simple. You just tell them what you're going to say. You need to do this for 2 reasons. First is you know what you're going to say. You know why it's important to the other person, what the benefits might be, what the consequences might be, all of this sort of stuff. But the other person has no idea, right? And until you tell your audience how and why they should listen, they're never going to be as excited to hear what you have to say as you are. And this relates to the second reason you want to tell people what you're going to say. When people don't know what's going to happen, it's really hard for them to focus their attention. A really simple example is the following. Have you ever gotten a text message, a phone call, or an email from someone you were in a relationship with? And that message said, "We need to talk." I don't know about you, but no matter what comes after those words, I have a really hard time focusing, right? And the same is true when you're introducing a new idea. When people don't know what's going to happen, they don't know where to land their attention. So let me give you an example in real life. You remember back in part 1, I was talking about a time a few years ago when I had to introduce the idea of a shared calendar function to the people working with me at a small law firm. And last time in part 1, I talked a bit about the audience for this idea, the senior partners, and we talked a bit about the capacities, concerns, and interests that these fellows have and how those are different from mine. So take a second, go back to part 1 if you haven't watched it, and see a bit about the audience that I'm about to try to make listen to my new idea. So how do I get these guys to listen? Well, I did 2 things. Every week, the firm has a lunch on Fridays where we talk about firm business. So on Monday of the week of the meeting, I went to the person who controls the agenda and I got myself on the agenda. And specifically, I had them add a sentence that said, Chris is going to talk about an opportunity for increasing the efficiency of our billable time at the firm and for improving the service provided to clients. Just a very simple sentence, but now it's on the agenda and it's in people's brains. It's percolating all week. They're getting ready to hear my idea. Then on Friday, when we actually have the meeting, it comes to my turn on the agenda, and I simply say, hey guys, I just want to take a few minutes to talk about this idea that I have for increasing the efficiency of our billable time and improving the service that we provide to our clients. What I'm going to do is just talk about it for a few minutes. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. And then I thought we'd just take the week to think about it, and we can decide what to do next week at the lunch. So that was very simple, but notice what happened. I told them why it was important for them to listen, what the benefits would be of this shared calendar function, right? And more importantly, I told them what I wanted from them, right? You should listen for a few minutes while I tell you about this thing. Then you can ask questions, and then don't worry about it. We don't have to take a decision now, think about it for the week, come back at the end next week, and we'll decide. Okay? Even if they come back in a week and they completely hate my idea, the point is, at this meeting, I've made it very easy for them to pay careful attention to what I'm about to say. So, to recap, if you want someone to understand if you want someone to listen to your new idea, start by telling them what you're going to say. And next time in part 3, we'll learn how to take this audience that's now listening to you and make sure they clearly understand what you want to tell them. Thanks.
Ross.